All right, folks. Stocks. We've been sort of seesawing a lot, but the upward side. And really, here's the thing. That Federal Reserve meeting this morning, Jay Powell unveiling a new monetary policy. It's going to include allowing inflation to run much hotter for much longer. And then the Dow, which really was positive all night after that COVID-19 testing news. We've got these beleaguered industries like the airlines looking pretty intriguing. And the usual suspects, some are still hot, but there's clearly rotation out of those growth names again. I want to bring in Walser Wealth Management President Rebecca Walser, along with the Bahnsen Group CIO David Bahnsen. Rebecca, it's to me it's really compelling because we've had false alarms, many false alarms, value, growth into value. But if we have a way of testing, an effective, cheap, quick testing method, maybe people will take more flights. Maybe people will take cruises. Maybe we'll get this economy moving faster, sooner. And I think that would have an impact on the markets, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Charles, and I was actually really excited about the CDC changing their policy that you don't necessarily need to test if you're asymptomatic. If we can just get the case counts go down, I think people are still so afraid to go anywhere because the case counts are just, what we hear all the time in the news every single day, and that makes people not want to take any risks. So we can't get them back out in the market if we're not telling them that it's safe to go back out there. So that's also a real positive I think will spur some change.
The media is not saying anything about it, David Bahnsen, but I think the market's paid attention. COVID cases have come down steadily for 4 weeks. The market has rocketed higher steadily for 4 weeks. There's got to be a correlation there. What do you see with respect to just what the market is telling you today, particularly with this Abbott Labs news?
Well, Charles, you're a complete exception to this because you've been telling the truth all summer. But the media's lies by omission have gone on for more than 4 weeks. It's gone on all summer of telling the story of cases growing in Florida, Arizona, Texas, but not telling the story of hospitalizations not getting to the point they feared, of making ridiculous comparisons to the March, April tragedies that we saw here in New York City, and ultimately not telling the story of mortalities growing. That's what this is all about. We don't want people dying. The media has not told the truth there. As far as where the Fed is and the overall economy, I'm with you completely. That rotation has had a lot of false alarms. That rotation's coming. Markets are mean reverting instruments. We are going to revert to the mean, and those names that have not had their day in the sun are going to get it.
Rebecca, I want to get your thoughts on the Fed. Jerome Powell, and by the way, other members of the Fed, they seem to be taking on more of a social justice role. And I think in their mind, the fact that they haven't been able to create inflation gives them the green light to go max, just go all out. And that means, I don't know, does it mean more accommodation?
Well, obviously, if we don't get back to normal, we're going to have more accommodation, Charles. But, this is sort of expected when you have what really essentially will be a $30 trillion federal debt. You can't afford to raise interest rates. So this is them laying the groundwork to prepare us for being prepared for not having, even with inflation above their target of 2, they're saying we're not going to automatically, target higher rates because they can't afford to do it. The economy can't afford it. We need the stimulus right now because we're not back to normal. But outside of that, we can't spend our way and become Europe and think we can have low taxes. So this is all jumbled together, Charles, and this is just them paving the way for lower forever. And that's a problem too.
We've got less than 30 seconds, Bahnsen, but I do want to get your 2 picks in there. EPD and NMFC. They're intriguing to me because these are some pretty hefty yields.
Yeah, they sure are. And I'm picking the high yielders here because I believe these dividends are so stable. We've gone to hell and back over the last 5 months. They've maintained the distribution. Enterprise Product is the best oil and gas pipeline company in the country. You can't have more bad news priced in than has already been priced in. New Mountain, lender to a lot of small companies, middle markets, a play on economic recovery, stable, big distributions in a permanently low interest rate environment.
Love the theory there. Rebecca, David, 2 of the best. Thank you both very much. By the way, folks, are you someone who wants to learn how to get rich, no matter what your age is? Well, we've got a show for you. It's called Do It Yourself because everyone's trying. And this September 2nd at 2 p.m. Eastern, I'm hosting a town hall, America invest together. I've got Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy and others, and we're going to answer your questions about how you can take control of your own financial future, create wealth, find investments. Message Fox Business on Facebook or Instagram. You can even email us at investtodayinu@foxbusiness.com. We're going to answer as many questions as possible. I want you to be part of the show, particularly if you send in those video questions. All right, coming up in this show, more on Jerome Powell's big gambit on what it means for inflation markets and Main Street. Two of the best Fed watchers in the business are going to weigh in. Also, fresh off her RNC speech, Senator Marsha Blackburn explains why she keeps fighting for our heroes. And then at 2:45, Lou Dobbs is going to react to Trump and Biden fighting 2020 like it was 1968. So which view of America will prevail? We'll be right back.